Hello. For this week's practice problems, the first problem you'll see will be about describing why a monopolist might prefer to charge different prices in different markets. What you're going to see when you first go into this problem is you'll be given a chart. And the chart will list out certain things such as output, total cost, marginal cost, and I'll have a blank column here for average total cost. So in this particular problem, we'll say 50,600, 100,600, 150,600, and 200,600. Total cost being 165,000, 215,000, 252,000, and 355,500. Marginal cost being 55 cents, $1.05, $1.68, and $2.40. So it's first thing it's asking you is how to figure out the average total cost. Now to determine the average total cost, it's just dividing the total cost divided by output. So again, average total cost is simply taking your total cost divided by your quantity, or output in this case. So your average total cost here would be 165,000 divided by 50,600, which gives you $3.26. Continuing down, it's $2.14, $1.68, and $1.77. The second question this is asking you is if this is a decreasing cost industry. Now, a decreasing cost industry is one where the ATC declines for all levels of output. You'll notice it does decline, but then suddenly it goes back up. So it is not a decreasing cost industry. The next question is, suppose that the market price for bottle vitamins is $1.68, and that the total market quantity demand is 286,140,000. Now, how many firms will there be in this industry? Well, if they're saying the total quantity demanded in problem 3, so the total quantity demanded is equal to 286,140,000. And they're basically asking you how many firms will be in this industry at that total quantity demanded. What you do is you'll take the 286,140,000 and you'll divide that by the output per firm, 150,600. And so you'll divide that by your 150,600 because that's what you produce when the average total cost is $1.28, and you'll get that to equal 1,900 firms. Next part of this will say, suppose that instead the market quantity demanded at the price of $1.68 is only 150,600. How many firms would there be in this industry? Well, if the total quantity demanded is 150,600, one firm can produce that, so then it'll just be one firm. And finally, does the level of demand determine this industry's market structure? Well, yes. High demand will result in a competitive industry, while very low demand can result in a monopolistic industry, or monopoly. The next question you'll see is very similar. And so it's going to give you some information here. There's going to be some output, some total cost, and then an average total cost. And the information will be given is that some output level of 25,000, or whatever the output level is, you have some total cost. And again, 50,000 in this instance gives you $100,000 in total cost. $75,000 in output gives you $105,000 in total cost, and $100,000 in output gives you $110,000 in total cost. And so what they're asking you to do is again find the average total cost. Remember, your average total cost is simply your total cost divided by your quantity. 80,000 divided by 25,000 is equal to $3.20. 100,000 divided by 50,000 is equal to $2. $1.40, and $1.10. So the next part of the question is saying, suppose that for each $25,000 per bottle, or 25,000 bottle per day increased production above 100,000 bottles per day, total cost would increase by $5,000. So that 125,000 would cost 115. 150,000 would cost 120. Well, we can continue the same thing. 115 divided by 125 is equal to 92 cents, and then 80 cents. So is this a decreasing cost industry? Well, you can see the numbers continuously decrease regardless of how far we go out. So yes, this is a decreasing cost industry. The third part of this question is going to say, suppose that the price of a bottle of vitamins is $1.93, and that at that price the total quantity demanded by consumers is 75 million bottles. How many firms will be in this industry? Well, if we can make $1.93 off of each bottle, and this is a decreasing cost industry, we'll continuously produce, and therefore the number of firms in the industry would just be 1, as we would be able to continuously produce at a reducing average total cost. So we'd be continuing to make money, so we would continue to produce until we can meet the demand of the consumers. Now, suppose that instead the market quantity demanded by the price of $1.93 is only 75,000. How many firms do you expect there to be in this industry? Well, at $1.93, we'd produce at least 75,000. So again, it'd just be 1 firm in this industry. Now, does level of demand determine this industry's market structure? In this case, because this is a decreasing cost industry, there will only be 1 firm regardless of demand, as we have a natural monopoly situation. So the third problem is going to give you a chart, and you're asked to fill in some blanks here. So we have blanks here, 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 and here in this chart. So working our way down, let's figure out our marginal revenue here. Marginal revenue is the addition that each additional unit brings, right? So if our total revenue change is 100, from 0 to 100, and our quantity change is 0 to 5, remember, the change in marginal revenue is equal to the change in revenue divided by your change in quantity. And so marginal revenue here, the change in revenue was 100 divided by our change in quantity, which was 5. So 100 divided by 5 means we have a marginal revenue of $20. This next one over here, well, let's just keep going on here. Again, our change in revenue divided by our change in quantity. The change in revenue from the previous level of 280 to this new level here is 20. The change in quantity goes from 20 to 25. So change in revenue is 20 divided by the change in quantity of 5 gives us a marginal revenue of 4. If we're looking here at price, okay, our equation that we're working with here is total revenue is equal to quantity times price. So total revenue is equal to quantity times price. Well, if we know, say here, 5 times 20 is equal to 100, 10 times blank has to be equal to 180. Well, you can divide 180 by 10 and we get a price of equal to $18. The same thing here, we can take 15 times 16 to get our total revenue of $240. And finally, our total cost is simply equal to our quantity produced. So our total cost again here is simply equal to the previous total cost plus the additional change, so additional 5 times our marginal cost of 4. So it's 72.5 plus 20, which is equal to 92.5. So then the next question will be is, what is the profit maximizing quantity? So the profit max Q. Well, where do we get to the most profit? We reach the most profit at 300 in the first place, so profit maximizing quantity is 25. Now, what's the profit maximizing price? Well, the price at which we equal the highest revenue first is 12. And then the last question is, what is the profit at that level? Well, simply the profit is the total revenue minus the total cost. Total revenue minus the total cost at this level here of 25 and 12. So we have 300 minus 92.5 gives us a total profit of $207.50. The fourth question asks you, currently a monopolist's profit maximizing output is 200 units per week. So at the profit maximizing quantity is 200. It sells output at the price of $60 per unit. So the price is equal to $60 per unit. The firm's total costs are equal to $9,000 per week. The firm is maximizing its profit and it earns $30 in extra revenue from the sale of the last unit produced each week. So, what are the firm's weekly economic profits? So we can determine the fact that the monopolist's profit maximizing output is $200 per week, of which it sells at a price of $60 per unit. So the firm has weekly revenue of the 200 units times the $60 which they're selling it for, which is equal to $12,000. Given that its total cost is equal to $9,000, we can say the firm has a weekly profit of $3,000. So what is the firm's marginal cost? Since the firm is maximizing its profit, its marginal cost is equal to its marginal revenue. Well, we know from the problem that they're saying that it earns $30 in extra revenue, and so its marginal revenue then is $30. Therefore, because marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, it is also equal to $30. And finally, it's going to ask you, what is the firm's average total cost, or ATC? Its average total cost is the total cost of 9,000 divided by the output of 200, because again, it's the total cost divided by quantity produced. In this case, the total cost is 9,000 divided by the quantity produced of 200. Its average total cost is then $45. The last question is asking you to be a regulator. So suppose you have been tasked with regulating a single monopoly firm that sells 50-pound bags of concrete. The firm has fixed costs equal to 10 million per year. And it has a variable cost equals $4 per bag. So no matter how many bags produced. If this firm kept on increasing its output level, would average total cost per bag ever increase? Well, the idea would be no, because you're continuously increasing the number produced, which would decrease the fixed costs per number of bags produced down to a near negligible amount. So it would be asymmetrically working itself towards this $4 per bag variable cost. So, is this a decreasing cost industry? Yes, because the costs continuously decrease if they continuously produce more. If you wish to regulate this monopoly by changing the socially optimal price, what price would you charge? Well, you would charge $4 per bag, since the marginal cost of all bags is equal to $4 per bag. Because again, you want to charge marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. So again, the marginal cost per bag is just the $4 per bag. And at that price, the firm would lose its $10 million fixed cost, since the price is just enough to cover the variable costs. And this firm would be losing money and will want to exit the industry. So at the $4 per bag cost, right, the firm will be the size of the firm's profit or loss, while at the price the firm would lose its $10 million fixed costs. You'd only be making enough to cover the variable costs of each additional unit. So you find out that you set the price at $5 per bag, consumers will demand 10 million bags. How big will the firm's profit or loss be at that price? Well, the firm's revenue equals $50 million. So we figure this out by saying our revenue, again, is equal to the price times quantity. Price times quantity. If we're charging $5 per bag, and they're producing 10 million bags, so that's the total market demand, the total revenue would be $50 million. So if the firm's fixed cost equals $10 million, right, so minus $10 million in fixed costs, leaves them $40 million. And each of the bags of the variable costs is $4 a bag. If they're producing 10 million bags of $4 per bag, that would cover the variable costs here, so minus $40,000 in variable costs. So we have fixed costs here, variable costs here. That would mean they would make $0. The profit or loss would be $0. Now, if consumers instead demand 20 million bags at the price of $5 per bag, how large will the firm's profit or loss be? Well, again, in this instance here, revenue is equal to price times quantity. So we'd say, okay, $5 a bag times 20 million bags. Okay, I'm going to take this down here. Is equal to 5 times 20 is equal to $100 million. Again, times the minus the fixed cost, so minus $10,000 in fixed costs, gives them a total of $90,000. If they're producing 20 million bags at $4 a bag, so they're going to lose 80 million or use $80 million in variable costs, that'll leave them in $10 million of profit. So, last question is saying that suppose the demand is perfectly inelastic at 20 million bags. So consumers demand 20 million bags no matter what the price is. What price would you charge if you want them to earn only a fair rate of return? Okay, so assume that as always that total cost includes a normal profit. The fair rate of return is where economic profit is 0. Right, total cost above includes normal profit. So the first step is to find the total cost. The firm's fixed cost equals 10 million, given above, right? And the firm's total variable cost equals 80 million. That's still the 20 million bags times $4 per bag. So the total cost would then be $90 million. So the second step here is to then find the revenue, the price, which we don't know. So the revenue is equal to price, which is unknown, times 20 million bags. So we're going to use the definition of profit to solve for the unknown price. Okay, so again, profit or revenue here so the last idea here then is we're going to be having equal our profit is equal to our revenue minus our total cost. Well, we know our total cost to be 90 million, which is the 10 million plus 80 million, so minus 90 million. We want our profit to be 0, right? Because we want the fair rate of return is where economic profit is equal to 0. So economic profit is equal to 0. And then we need to figure out our revenue. Well, our revenue is simply our price times quantity. Well, we know that our price is what we're trying to figure out. Our quantity is the 20 million minus our 90 million in total costs. Doing a bit of algebra, we can say price is equal to our 90 million divided by the 20 million in quantity, which gives us a price of $4.50 is what they would charge assuming that total cost includes a normal profit.